Alrighty guys, let's do a next episode of Inside the Head. Do I need this thing? Oh, maybe. Perk. We have not had a perk defense yet. I normally play the F4 variation. No, not a perk. Okay. So do I want to play now a field door defense, or do I want to play some of my hobby horse lines, which is actually quite a cool variation. Okay, I will do that. I will play knight e2. Knight f3 is the stock standard, followed by bishop c4. But I do play this line every now and then against the perk. What? Okay. And the Philidor as well. So he just played a very pale e6. I don't know what that is supposed to be. So I'm just going to pretend that this is a normal perk setup, and I'm going to attack here with g5, knight here, actually knight here first if he doesn't play b4, and just heck like there was no tomorrow on the king side. Yeah, this is very weird. Okay, so now g5 is already threatening to win the game, so he has to play something like h6. If I allow him to play c5, I suppose it's going to look like some sort of Sicilian, but h6 must be played here first. Okay, now he's dead, because the knight has to go back. h4 is looking very good, and knight h5 is looking very good too. In fact, even f4 is looking good, but I want to be consistent. I was looking at h6, but I don't think it hurts me at all, so yeah. c5, normal stuff. Queen d2. I'm just pretending that it's a normal Sicilian. If b4, I drop back. If it takes, I take with the bishop, and it's all good because he can't attack the bishop with the knight, plus the bishop on that diagonal is dominant. Castles is going to be my next move, and then I can start thinking about how to finish them off, whether it's h5, g6, or even bishop h3 first, pressuring that pawn there. Wow. Okay, he's not developing at all, so yeah, he needs to be careful now. Okay, queen c7 is a bit of a cutie. That indicates two intentions. One of them is that occasionally he wants to hurt me here, and also he might want to castle there. My knight on g3 is a little bit misplaced. I would love to have it here like in a normal Sicilian. And now if I were to play d5, then e5 is a bit awkward to me. So I go h5 now, because now I'm threatening to take and he can't take back that way, which means that this pawn is going to be fatally weakened. For example, if castles, I take, and bishop h3, and it's very difficult to defend the pawn on e6. e5 is possible, but that basically ruins the structure entirely. Takes, pawn takes, and knight d5 is decisive. If knight f8, then I have got pawn d5. Actually, I do have knight d5 too, so I even can change the move order there and have some fun. And try to be cute a little bit with those tricks. He can try to take me first, and after bishop takes, play e5. But once again, after the bishop drops back, the white squares are horrendously weak in his camp. So TombRaider is looking at a bit of a trouble now. Where are you from, buddy? Germany. Alemania. Speaking of Germany, my match against Chess Explained is being worked on. We have been in touch with one another with Christoph, and we agreed that we are going to do it sometime this weekend. So that should be a very interesting dual commentary for the greater good of the community. So let's hope that that does happen. In the meantime, I'm very busy exploiting weak white squares. Take is almost forced. Queen takes, hitting the knight, hitting this check. Knight still can't move. Ultimate disaster. Queen b7 loses a piece to queen takes, and then d7 drops. Otherwise, this check is going to win the lot. Actually, I reckon this is resignable. I can't see a move for black here. Like, if I really want to be torturous, I could even do this and just win the piece on d7. That would be quite nasty, but hey. He won 2 games? Yes, 2 games. That sounds good to me. I will tell him that it's perfect for my channel, so he will watch it as I'm abusing him. That's maybe not really a great idea. Oh well. So yeah, his problem is that he can't really move a muscle. The knight needs to come out in order to help the defense on d7, but it can't come out, so technically he would need to play h6 takes and then out with the knight, but in that time queen a8 is going to kill him. I seem to have a bit of a lag. Oh, he does. Oh, I don't know what's happening here, but I keep on answering and it keeps on not showing up. This is not good. How about if you do a refresh? No? Is my internet working? Yeah, it is. Okay. I'm recording. The guy is asking me only recording the next game. Bad luck for him. Yeah, he knows that he messed it up, like he doesn't have a move. So actually, oh my god. Like, this is just frozen. I can't do a thing. Like, my keyboard is not responsive. Ah, okay, he thanked me for the game, so I was about to analyze it, but there was not much to be said there, really. b3. Dude, you need to play some decent openings. e3, very sad. Like, you can't play chess like this if you really want to improve and you want to play positions where there's a scope for, you know, development and improving and theoretical complexities and whatnot. Now in this position, whilst I normally am against releasing tension, I would like to stir this game towards pawn structure where it takes back, and I will take c4-2 when it arrives, and thereby we are going to play a hanging pawn structure, which means that I'm going to play against these 2 pawns in the center, which is meant to be quite cool and pleasant for black, especially because the bishop on b2 is going to be pinned. So there are a number of issues here why this is actually quite playable. And if he takes with the knight, he gains a tempo on the queen, which is a perfectly irrelevant tempo. And once I get into d5, I'm looking alright, because in this isolated pawn-pawn structure, he doesn't have enough counterplay. Now, to be fair, I'm a bit struggling with finding the right square for my queen. I was seriously considering just coming home and then planting a knight on d5, right in front of the isolated pawn where it belongs. Now, knight e5 might be a good move, or even the other one. And after knight, yeah. Okay, that was silly. Ish. So if he drops back, then I still have a choice between whether I want to go here and if they then takes or not. Knight e5. Alright, makes sense. So now I'm trying to hurt him on d4. If takes, pawn takes, and then I'm going to aim for take. Oh my god! I didn't take his queen. Wow, that's so bad. I mean, I could pretend that it was all intentional, but it wasn't. And I really should have. Oh god. I mean, actually, it may have been the right move, because funnily enough, now d4 is hanging very awkwardly, and knight f4 is incoming. Okay, maybe bishop e4 is a good move here to try to pinch this. What a mess. Yeah, bishop e4 is actually quite pleasant here for white, because after bishop takes, yeah, if bishop takes, I can take here, take, and then bishop a6. All right, that looks good. If he takes, then rook b8. That doesn't look that great. So now he's gonna play rook d1, take, bishop e6, bishop d5. Then I pin knight e3, knight. Yeah, whatever. That looks a bit silly. Yeah, I'm not quite sure why he chose to go back to f3. It's playable. Knight e5 is annoying now, with the intention of coming on to c6 and hitting all of my dudes. Yeah, I'm playing this very badly. Very, very, very appallingly badly. Why would you allow that? Okay, that was a very clueless move here to play rook c1, removing the rook from an open file instead of penetrating with the knight occupying the center. Now I actually am threatening to take it twice. Okay, yeah, ultimate play of very poor endgame. Ultimate example of poor endgame play. I was about to say that I may not upload this because it's so poor. But now I'm thinking I will upload it because there is a lesson here to learn. And that is about how not to play endgames. Okay, I like knight e5 here. I was originally thinking playing here, but after king e2, king f8, king here, e5, it is only a tad bit better. I want to get everything out of this. Now he's forced to play back here. Then I come closer. Now c5 is not working because I'm going to attack it, and when he progresses even further, then the combined power of the knight and the king is going to win that pawn. So he had to do that, and now I drop back and I will come here, and my king got closer to the center and his didn't. On the other hand, I can't play e5 now, so it's arguable whether it was a great achievement or not. Yeah, I may have shot myself in the leg there, speaking of poor endgame play. But okay, knight on c5 is definitely a force to reckon with. Plus, I can always kick out the king from here by f6, e5, but that would mean to isolate my own pawns. Okay, so once again, the strategy that I'm trying to follow now is to put everything on black, pretty much ridiculing the bishop on e2. My current plan is f6, e5, and a5. None of these can be stopped. What it achieves is that it removes a lot of potential weaknesses from white squares, and it also sends his king back into passivity in a rather grand level. So once I play this and this, all of the fourth rank squares are covered with the exception of these two. That is a horrid move, mate. Like, really? Jeez. Like, this is a typical example of cluelessness, with all due respect, because why would you play bishop b3? I'm not gonna take you. This is an ultimate example of a good knight, bad bishop, and he put his bad bishop on the worst possible square. Now that is a good move because that fixes my pawns on black, whereas I really want to play them onto... Oh, it fixes them on white, whereas I really want to put them on black. So my next task is to bring the king across here and push these pawns up too. H4 is a good move. I actually may not be able to win this because it's difficult to see where I can break through. It might be an idea to push this pawn all the way down here. Obviously takes this out of the question. I would laugh really hard if he played g4 here. Okay, it didn't quite happen. That said, if he plays now h5, I can push through and haunt that pawn, or hunt rather, and that could be a little bit unpleasant for him too. So there is a potential for me to break through there. I would like to take this just because it opens up the f5 square for me, so occasionally I can swing in from this direction. But the position is still sitting on a very drawish evaluation. Now, what do I gain out of pushing this up and putting the king on a5? A lot? Maybe nothing? Or plan B, what about if I replace the knight on c5 with the king and I put the knight back here? That looks like a plan. Let's go there. The only question is that I need to put the knight on somewhere remotely threatening so that he can't come into e4 and hassle me like he can now. Alright, shall we go on a journey? Oh, actually that would hurt if that king came in there. So knight e6, king e4, knight d4, but then I don't see how I can make progress. This is a bit frustrating now. Okay, I have a plan. I'm going to play here, regroup the knight here, and then regroup the king here. If I can do that, I don't know. It may be a little bit far-fetched. Yeah, at least now I have got access to the dark squares, and he seems to be thinking that I'm not doing anything, which is very naive of him. So now this is a plan. And this is a quite nasty one actually, well, depending on what he does anyway. Now he realized that I'm not sitting around here doing nothing. Okay, now e4 may become a threat if the bishop moves and with a winning pawn ending. So now I'm considering pushing this all the way down there, so that once I lure the king away after taking and hunting that one down, we can win. Still, it's very unclear whether it's winnable or not. What was my last move? King c5, good, okay. King there. So king here seems to be annoying. Let's see what he does. He needs to play some sort of bishop pass move, but definitely different from e4 because the knight here is finishing him off. So I would expect something like bishop here maybe. What? So take c5. King here c6. Knight back, king e4. It's a bit unpleasant. Okay, so I can't take it because after c5 this pawn is becoming a bit too much of a fast runner. Okay, let's go back. Bishop b7. Okay, that was a mistake. And the reason why this was a mistake is because now I can come back here with the knight and king e4 falls to check. Alright, this is cool. And now bishop d5, knight d6, and it's a Zugi position, or thereabouts. By Zugi I mean a Zugzwang. Okay, okay, now I can force his pawn onto a white square, which is good, because then I can hassle that one as well. Nope. Okay. So now what I want to do is, I think it was a big mistake by the way for the record, is just to hassle, well it's not hassle, but to hunt down this pawn with this knight as soon as possible. Yeah, actually this is my way to it, and it wins the game on the spot. In fact, it may have been wiser actually not to take this, because now I have to cover off this diagonal before running my pawn. Yeah, he's dead because now he can't even play here because of the check. And otherwise I'm just coming for him. So bishop a2 is only, well, whatever. Bishop a2, king here, and I'm going to shut the diagonal with knight b3. And that's gonna be game. And now he can't stop that. Thank you, buddy. It was a shaky endgame, but at least we saw something. I totally missed in the opening that my queen was hanging on h5, so that was not a particularly good quality stuff. But this endgame was interesting, and I'm not quite sure actually whether it was winnable or not. So I will fly through the opening because it's not really important. From here on, he started to play, from this point on, all the time he played weak moves or second or third best ones. So yeah, it was definitely a very weak endgame technique on white side, starting with rook c1, which makes very little sense considering that knight e5 was doable with the intention of knight c6. I don't know why I can't move my pieces. Knight e5, yeah. And then bang bang. So I would have had to play rook here, knight c6, rook here. And yeah, potentially he had the chance to annoy me with stuff like this. I'm saying potentially because actually bishop d5 seems to turn the tables entirely on him, because now back rank issues are present and the pieces are hanging. So maybe not quite, but this looks like some sort of a chess plan. Rook c1 is a very sad move that self-pins the knight and allows me to change the pawn structure and create a weak pawn on c4. Now, why am I calling it a weak pawn? The reason why I'm calling it a weak pawn is because it's either weak or very strong, and the way how you decide it is that is it blockadable? And then you go, yep. Okay, that makes it weak. Because from that point on, it becomes a constant something that yeah, white has to attend to. I don't know if knight c5 would have been here more accurate, or knight e5. I quite liked the fact that after bishop e2 I cut off the king's path towards the pawn, and then I brought my king around, and then I swam back with the knight to c5. So this was almost forced. And now, as per said in the game, f6, e5 can't be stopped, and a5. So that's a very nice dark square strategy. But whether it achieves enough or not, I'm not sure. Now my next idea was to remove these two from white squares so that I don't have to worry about those either. Hence my run towards the king side, so that now I can put this one here and that one there. And once that's completed, I'm totally impenetrable and I don't have any weaknesses. So from that point on, the only question is whether I can squeeze through or not. He played h4, h6, and g5. Now takes, of course, would allow my king to come closer and penetrate from here. So that is the justification for swapping a pawn, because when you are up in an endgame, traditionally we avoid pawn swaps because that brings the draw closer. But this time we needed to open a new front, because on the queen side I don't have enough, so I need to have two targets. If you like, we can talk about here of the phenomenon of the two weaknesses. One weakness is not enough to win an endgame, we need to create a second. So in this case, that's what I tried to do, but didn't quite achieve well. So I tried to squeeze this position as best as I could. First, I relocated my king on c5 so that it would attack the c4 pawn. And now the second stage of the plan is to relocate the knight so that that is attacking the c4 pawn too. I fell for this check, it's irrelevant though. And here he actually stepped into this knight e8, knight d6 motif. Maybe just bishop back. And then I can't really do this because, yeah, king here looks problematic. Yeah, I don't know how I would have continued in this case, but it would have been far more complicated to win this than the other one. Okay, maybe even here, knight d7, king e4, knight b6 takes, knight c4, a4, and oh, sorry, check. Oh, actually, yeah, check takes, and this pawn is running. So that looks quite good. In the game, he went bishop b7, knight d8, and now obviously can't come in because check wins the bishop. So he had to go back, and now I achieved yet another milestone with this ideal piece setup. Bishop back, knight f5. The intention with this move was simply to force the pawn on white, and then I can still go forward covering that and hitting that, or simply come back. And once again, a new achievement was that the pawn was forced here. And quite possibly, I may need to now reshuffle the king and the knight, and then bring the king to the weakness. Endgame is for the patience. Ooh. Okay, sorry. Right, so that may have been the way to go, but instead he opted for king up, and now basically I'm going to have two pass pawns on the far ends of the board, and he can't possibly handle that. I ate all pawns, and I think it was a sound decision, but it may have been a tad bit more accurate to come this way and just take the pawn and leaving this on the board, because that would deny the bishop's diagonal to be opened up and covering important squares. But as things were, he still can't help it. Bishop b1, a3 back, and now I simply come in with the king and finish the job. Pawn promotes. Right, two rather iffy games, guys. Rather iffy, but hopefully there will be some appreciable content in there so that you will be happily watching it. Alrighty, guys, thanks all for tuning in, and I will be back with more soon.